Mikey T, the movie star, is my guy. And right here is the Trash Bag King, Mr. Forever Do Me, Neef Buck. One half of the Gunners, baby.
I miss my bro, to death do us part, you already fucking know. Ain't got to tell you once, cause you always on go. What's mine is what's yours is what's mine. Fuck hoes, follow code, and we all gon' shine. I miss my...
Took me to my our past things that we went through, like doing Tough Luv album. It felt like day one could have been on Tough Luv album when we lost our homie Larry Anderson. Rest in peace, LA. He wasn't the average Joe or whatever, so we keep his name still alive to this day. Tough Luv came out 2004. It's 2015. I'm still making records about him, letting his name live on. You know, I met him through school, and then I introduced him and Chris and everybody else from my neighborhood later or whatever. But I was like the first one from my neighborhood going down 15th in York and hanging with him and doing things and hanging out at Aunt Peach's crib and stuff like that. Like people from Tough Luv and our music from then to now, they feel like they, we made them, we brought them into our world, so they feel like they're a part of our, legacy, our movement, the things that we talk about. We got them to know us. You know what I'm saying?
Who was he actually to the clique?
He was just a soldier. He's a day one homie. He's a soldier. He ain't do no music or nothing like that. He's a soldier. And it's funny that like this how important he is. Like I could tell you a story about my homie LA. The first time I heard the record Tough Luv, when Chris talking to me. You know that record, Mikey?
Tough Luv?
Yeah. Tough Luv is when Chris talked to me, and he had that record, man, is like none of it is like none before it, none to come. When two artists, a group, venting to each other on the record. Chris didn't even want to let me hear the record. The record probably would have never been on the album. The album probably would have never been Tough Luv. None of that. LA took it and let me hear it. Like, yo, Neef, you know what I mean? I want you to hear this or whatever, and I want you to rap on it or whatever. Like, give your opinion on how you feel about the whole situation and stuff like that. And I remember like it was yesterday. We was doing like a big N1 concert. That's when N1 was popping. We did like a big N1 concert on like Columbus Avenue in Philly. And he pulled me to the side and took me in the car and let me hear the joint. That was my first time. Man, I probably would have never heard it, you know what I mean? Because Chris had the record or whatever, but he couldn't really, tell me that. It was just a little different. Like how me and Chris come up, it's a little, like he wouldn't really want to, say stuff like that to me. You know what I mean? That's why he put it in the music or whatever, but he still ain't really want to let me hear it. So LA took it upon himself to let me hear the record, and I went up New York like the next day or the next 2 days by myself. I caught the train up there, and I came in the studio and knocked it out. Me and Guru recorded it, and then probably like an hour later, Jay came in the studio and was like, I had it off, but I knocked it out or whatever. And then Jay came in the studio. He's like, yo, you heard the joint or whatever. And I was just like, Guru, play it. 'Cause I knew he was talking about, but he ain't never heard my verse on it. So when he heard it, it fucked him up. It was like, I never forget that, you know what I mean? That was a classic time in my, in my music.
Damn, so
music, hip hop.
So Neef, could you just take me into like that time frame? Like, what is it like with Jay-Z walking into the studio? Is it a common thing back then, or is it like he's like the CEO type coming?
No, it was a common thing back there. That's the homie. You know what I'm saying? This baseline. This was in baseline, so he stayed in there. Whatever. Even when he wasn't recording, he'd come through and check up on us. If he heard something he liked, he jumped on it. You know what I'm saying? So that's the homie. That's the big homie. That's the big bro. So it was just funny that it all happened like that. Him coming in the studio asking me did I hear the record that Chris was talking about me, and then I just knocked it out. I was up there by myself. I remember like it was yesterday in baseline. Me and Google knocked it right out. I just came up specifically to do that, and I was just like, Google played the joint, and he heard it. He went crazy like, oh, like this is crazy. And then we had to name the album Tough Luv, and like that song wasn't really to like put on an album or we was working on an album or nothing like that. It's just everything fell in place. Everything just timing, and you know, if it's meant to be, it'll be.
What was it like going into the second album? Did you did you think there was gonna be a second album, or?
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Tough Luv did gold. You know what I mean? We had, you know, Can't Stop, Won't Stop, No Better Love. We had big records. You know what I mean? So we knew we was gearing up for the second album or whatever. And you know, we was like I say, we was on tour when Jay, you know, was making his decisions to move forward and you know, be president of Def Jam and take Roc-A-Fella on his own. And he was just telling us he wanted us to be a big part of his decision, and we went right in and started working. Went and seen Swizzy, did some records with Swizz. And, you know, we was doing a body work back in Philly, back and forth to New York to Philly doing a body work. And, you know, we came up with a campaign, and you know, what just went in. I don't think we had all the pieces to the puzzle, because everything was so new. I think we was Roc-A-Fella usually had his own staff, like people that just was for Roc-A-Fella. And then, you know, we did what we did, and Def Jam would catch up to what we was doing. Like, we white labeled Can't Stop, Won't Stop by ourselves as far as Roc-A-Fella. Not us, me and Chris, but Roc-A-Fella, Dame and them, they white labeled that and start putting, you know, pushing that by themselves. And then Def Jam comes along and back it with the big machine and really go in with it. So when Jay was president of Def Jam, it's like our whole staff, it was over for that. Now everything's running through Def Jam, exactly. Like, we don't really have nobody up there for us but Jay. You know what I'm saying? All these other people, Def Jam got like 100 artists at the time, so we not really priority. You know what I'm saying? We just getting whatever we getting. They doing whatever they doing. They servicing a bunch of records at one time to the DJs. So you know it's gonna be different. And Jay just really got in position, and it was all new. And I think just the marketing, the promotion, everything that behind the scenes that makes shit happen wasn't there. It wasn't, you know, locked and loaded like it would have been. You know what I'm saying? When everybody was involved, when we had all our own staff that just worked for us and just was worrying about Roc-A-Fella music.
So, you know, a lot of people actually talk about Jay-Z's, you know, time on Def Jam. Like, how long were you with Def Jam for during that whole time?
Well, you know, we signed to Roc-A-Fella, but Roc-A-Fella's Def Jam is the big label, so we signed to Def Jam at the end of the day. So we was signed from signed for like 2001, because we inked like a while before our first album came out, because we did 2 State Property albums, did the movies, you know what I'm saying? So we was doing things in between them. So, you know, we got the funny thing is, we was on Def Jam. We got ourselves out of Def Jam because we was still on Def Jam even when Jay, you know, did his own thing, the Rock Nations, when he started all that stuff. We was still on Def Jam, but Chris had a situation that he wanted to do with Rico Love at the time, and I was chilling. I wasn't doing too much music. I was mixing and doing what I was doing and whatever. I fell back from the music for a little while, and he came to me like, yo, he wanted to get out of the contract with Def Jam, and you know, he needed me to sign off, you know what I'm saying, as a group, so he could do his own solo shit, that he wanted to do with Rico Love. And you know, I ain't gonna never hold my brother back from nothing he wanna do, you know what I mean, off top. And then I wasn't really even fucking with the music at the time, so shit, I signed off on it. And we still, I ain't even gonna hold you, but if Young Gunz coming out with an album tomorrow, they still get a piece of it, you know what I'm saying. We had to leave with giving them something, you know what I'm saying, so.
We all gon' shine. I miss my day one. I miss my day one. My day one homie. Left a nigga lonely. I always told you I forever feed the streets and follow the codes that we live by. While ever sucking dick, doing tricks just to get by. LA, I know you're spinning in your grave. They say fuck standing for something, we just trying to get paid. And I ain't looking for a handout, so you know.